Hello everyone, welcome back to another session of web technologies. In today's class, I'm going to discuss one lab experiment. So the lab experiment is regarding validation. So the question is, write JavaScript to validate the following fields of the registration page. So the first constraint over here is the validation that we need to do is we need to check the name field, the entry into the name field, and we should make it a point that the name should contain alphabets and the length should not be less than 6 characters. If the user enter less than 6 characters, then we should say that name is invalid. And if the name includes some numbers like 1 2 3 4 or anything other than alphabets, we should say that the name is invalid. So that is what is called as validate. And coming to the password, so the password should not be less than 6 characters length. So there is no constraint on what it should include, like alphabet or numbers or special characters. So there is no mention on that. But the only validation that we need to do on the password is that it should not be less than 6 characters length. And coming to the email ID should not contain any invalid, and must follow the standard pattern. Okay, so there should be at the rate and there should be a dot. Okay, so yeah, before the at the rate, it can have numericals as well as alphabet, and then after at the rate again it can have alphabets, and after dot it can have again the alphabet. Okay, so that's what we need to check. And then coming to the phone number should contain 10 digits only. Okay, so it should not be less or it should not be more than 10 digits. It should be exactly 10 digits. If the user enters less than 10 digits or more than 10 digits, then we will be saying that the phone number is invalid. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a login page, something like this. Okay, so first I will be having the username, then below it, like I'll be having the field. Okay, so to enter the username, then I'll be having the password field. Okay, so I'm saying password field, and then I'll be having a text box to enter the password field. Likewise, I'll be having then email, and I'll be having a field. Then I'll be having phone number, and I'll be having a field. And finally, I'll be having a submit button. Okay, so finally, I'll have a submit button, and we'll get started. We'll see how to create this. To create this, I am taking the notepad. And we need to include JavaScript inside our HTML document. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. So to do this, I'll be going into I'll be taking you to the notepad. Okay, well friends, so this is my HTML document. Let me save this HTML document on the desktop. Okay, and I'll be naming this as form validation. Okay, so form valid.html. So I just named it as form valid.html and I saved it on the desktop. Okay, so I have done that. And the first thing I'll be doing, I'll be telling you is that I'm creating the controls using Bootstrap 4. So I have included the Bootstrap CSS and scripts, JavaScript and HTML links over here. Okay, so I have included the CSS here, and then I have included the JavaScript and all this in the script tags. Okay, so this is the basic thing that I need to do if I want to make my HTML include Bootstrap. Okay, and then I have closed the head tag, and inside the body tag I have created a container. I said div class is equal to container, and I close the div here, and in between I'll be creating the form. Okay, so let me get started. So I'm taking the form tag. Okay, so I just want to make it clear that form is already there in HTML. Okay, in Bootstrap 4 you do have form class. Okay, so there are two classes here in Bootstrap 4. One is form group and the other one is form inline. So I'm taking form group class. So what is this form group class? Okay, so this form group class is the easiest way to add some structure to the forms. and it provides a flexible class that encourages proper grouping of labels, controls, optional help text, and form validation messages. By default, it only applies margin at the bottom, okay, and it also does sizing, focus states, and gives some basic styling to the forms. So this is what the form group will do, and I'm going to do that. So in the form tag, I'm saying so I'm taking the form over here, and so inside the form tag, so let me actually close the form tag. So inside the form tag, I'm taking a div, and then I said class is equal to, so I'll be saying which is form group. Okay, so this form group will actually create the items stacked up. Okay, so in the vertical way, the elements will be stacked up. So I want it that way. So that's why I said div class is equal to form group. Okay, right. And let me close the div again. And inside this particular div, okay, so inside this particular div, I will be creating a label, and I'll be creating an input text field. Okay, right. So first thing that I require is a label. So I said label. So if you want a for attribute, you can give, else you can simply ignore it. So I'm saying username. So put a colon, and then I'm closing the label. So what will happen is a label will be created. Then I'm taking the input to tag, and inside the input tag, I'm saying type is equal to text. Okay, so what did I say? I said type is equal to text. What will this input tag do is, this input tag will create a single line text field. Okay, so when I say input type is equal to text, this will give me a single line text field. So I said type is equal to text, and then if you want a name, you can give a name, else you can simply give it this way. But don't forget to give an ID, because we need to connect it to the JavaScript. So I need an ID. So what I'm saying, I'm giving it an ID which is called as a user name. And after that, so let me actually close this and show you the output of this particular. So what I did, I just have created a label, and I have created a text field. Let me save this and show the effect of this on the browser. So this is form valid, right? So this is form valid. You can see that I got a username, and also I got a text field. But let me tell you, the text field, if I start click on this, okay, so I'm not able to get any styling, okay, that the form group gives me. But it is simply a raw kind of text field, okay. But if you want all the styling of the form group, you need to include one more class over here in this particular code. Okay, so let me actually do that. So inside this input type is equal to text, name is equal to, I have written, right? So in here I'll be adding one more class which is called as a form hyphen control. Okay, so what did I add? I have added one more class which is called as form hyphen control. Now the textual form controls. Okay, so what are the textual form controls? They are input tag, then select tag, then text area tag, and all these are the textual form controls. When you associate this textual form controls with the form control class, then what will happen is the width of it will become 100%. So let me save this and refresh this. Okay, so as I refresh this, you can see that the width of this has become 100%. And as I click inside this, you can see that I'm getting some basic styling, and it is quite good compared to the previous one. Okay, so let me actually add one more heading here, so that it will look neat and good. So before this form group, I'm saying which is h1 tag, and then I'm saying class is equal to, so I'll take the display 3, and then I'll say which is the registration. Okay, so registration form. Okay, so I'm giving a heading to it, and I said that it is the registration form. Let me actually refresh this and show you. So I'll be getting a heading to it, which is the registration form. If you want to reduce it, you can still reduce it. You can actually make it 5. Okay, so and bring it over here, refresh it. So you got that it is the registration form. Okay, so you can actually do all the styling that you require. So now that I have added the username and the text field, in the same way I'll be adding the password. So what I need to do, I just need to copy these 4 lines, okay, and copy these 4 lines and paste it after this particular username. Okay, so I have pasted it. Now what will be the label? Now the label will be password, and I need to change the ID over here. So what is the ID? It is pwd is the ID, and then I said class is equal to form control. Okay, so let me actually save this and show you here in the browser. So you can see that I got username and then I got the password. So let me actually copy this one more time and then paste it again. So now what do we want? We want the email, right? So enter the email. So email, and then ID, I'm changing it to be email. Okay, so let me save this. Okay, and then you can see that I got the email. Okay, so I need one more field, right? So what is that last field? So the last field that I require is the mobile number. So wherein I'm saying it's a phone number. Okay, so phone number, and then here in the ID I'm saying which is phone. Okay, right. So let me save this, okay, and show you on the browser. So these are all the fields that we require: username, password, email, and phone number. So I need a submit button now, right? So to actually bring in the submit button, so what do I need to do? I need to actually take the type button. So let me bring here. So let me actually, okay, so you'll be able to see it clearly. Okay, fine. So this is where my phone number ended, right? So after this, I need a submit button. For that, I'm taking again an input tag, and I'm saying input type is equal to. So what do we require? So we need a submit button, right? So I'm saying input type is equal to submit, and then class is equal to. So I need a button which will be btn primary. So I'm saying btn primary. You can also make it success, whatever you want, you can make it. And I'm saying value is equal to submit. Okay, so I said value is equal to submit. So let me actually show you this. So after this, like my form will end. Okay, so I created my form and then the div will end. So let me refresh this and show you. So I have completed creating, so you can see the submit button. Okay, so I have completed creating the registration form. So wherein I have username, password, email, and phone number, and then a submit button. Okay, so as of now, when I enter something and click on submit, okay, so nothing will happen because we didn't add any validations and all that. But let me do certain things in the form tag. Okay, so I came back to the form tag over here. So inside the form tag, I need to take the data that is entered in the form, and I need to give it to the JavaScript. Okay, so to do that, I have one attribute over here which is called as onSubmit. What is the attribute? So I have one attribute which is called as onSubmit. What is onSubmit? OnSubmit is an event. Okay, so what is onSubmit? OnSubmit is an event. And so what it will do is it will execute a JavaScript when a form is submitted. Okay, so if you're not giving this onSubmit, this will not happen. So you just need to give this onSubmit. And the syntax of this is the element. So here the element is the form, and onSubmit will be equal to some method name, or it can be a script or whatever, my JavaScript or whatever. Okay, right. And the onSubmit, these are supported. Okay, so this onSubmit is supported in the forms. And inside this on submit, what you need to do? Okay, so inside this on submit, I need to say written, okay, and written, and then I'll be giving the name of the function to be called on submit. Okay, so on submit, I want some function to be called. So here I have a function which is called as validate. Okay, so I have a function which is called as validate. So I'm saying return validate. Why I have written this is, now let me explain you this here. So what will happen? So I said return and then I said validate. So what is validate here? So this validate is a function. So this validate function will return either true or it will return false. Okay. So now what will happen is, now on submit will become, okay, so after this function executes, on submit will become return true or it may become return false. Okay, based on the output that this validate function will give. Okay, so it can become return true or it can also become return false. If it is written true, it means that all the validations have been done and all the data that is entered is correct. So now you can submit this data to the server. Okay. And if it is written false, we are actually stopping the further execution of the event. So as I said, on submit is an event. So what we are doing is we are actually making this event to stop. Okay, so we're not further continuing the event. Okay, so we are stopping. Why we are stopping? Why? When it will become false? It will become false when the validations or the correct data is not given or whatever. So we'll be making it as a false. So that's the reason we have written return validate. So I hope everybody understood this. Okay, right. So after writing this in the form, so you can clearly see that we have finished creating the form. So let me brief you what we have done. So what we have done, so let me actually save this. Okay, so let me save this, and this is the form we have created. So you can see that I created this using Bootstrap, and so all the Bootstrap coding have been taken from the CDN and it has been included in the head tag. And inside the body tag, okay, so this is where the body started. Inside the body tag, I created a container. Then I have created a form tag. Inside the form tag, I have created a label and a text field, label and a text field, label text field, label text field. How many ever data that you want, I have created those many form groups here. And then you can see that everything is very evenly organized and it is looking very nice here. Okay, so that is what your form control will give. And finally, we have created a submit button, and the submit button is kept here. Okay, so now we need to do the validations. So where you need to do the validations, let us try to understand that. So you have a, listen to me very carefully. So you have a tag which is called as, so you have a tag. What is the tag? The tag is called as, what is the tag? The tag is called as the script tag. Okay, so the tag is called as the script tag, and you need to give the script tag after this particular div. Okay, so inside the body itself we'll be giving that. So I have this particular script tag. So in the body itself, I'm giving the script tag. So this is the opening script tag and this is the closing script tag, and all your JavaScript needs to come in between this particular open and close the script tag. Okay. Now inside the script, so as I said, I have a function which is called as validate, right? So I have a function which is called as validate. So let me give that function here. So the syntax of giving a function is function followed by the name of the function. So what is the name of the function? So the name of the function is validate. Okay, all the code that you write inside this function will come in between this open and close brackets of the function validate. So inside this function validate, the first thing I'll be doing is I need to get the value that the user enters in this particular user name. Okay, so whatever the user is entering in the user field, okay, so we need to get that. and I need to put it in a variable. So variable is declared as var. So I said var and then I said user. Okay, so this inside this variable user, I'll be catching the data that the user will give in the user text field. Okay, to do that, I have a method which is called as document. HTML, when it goes on to the browser, it becomes a document. So the data that is entered in the document, okay, dot. So I'm saying get element, okay, so get element, okay, by ID. So here I said like we are giving ID to everything, right? So get element by ID. And what is the ID that we have given for the username? The ID that we have given for the username is username itself. So I'm copying the username here. So this is the ID and I'm saying the value, okay, so that the user has given. So to get that value, I'm saying dot value. So I said dot value. So let me actually show you this. Okay, so I'll be showing you the output of this. Okay, so just for a quick test, I'm saying document dot write. Okay, so and I'll be writing this user here and we'll check it. Okay, so let me save this and go to this particular form. Okay, so refresh it and I have given some Sudha over here and then I clicked on submit. So you can see that Sudha is here. What is this Sudha? This Sudha is what I have written here. This document.write user I said, right? So whatever is there in the user, I asked it to write on the document. Okay, so I said document.write user. So it has produced Sudha. It means that what is Sudha? Sudha is the data that I entered in this particular user name, right? So that's the data that we have collected. So I hope everybody understood what is the functionality of this. Okay, so this has given the name that I entered in the user field. Okay, so username field. So in the similar way, so let me take off this document.write user and all that. So in the similar way, I'll be taking the password field. Okay, so let me give copy this and let me change the variable name. So the variable name, I'll be keeping it as pwd and document dot get element by id. And what is the id that we have given for the password, which is pwd. So I'm giving pwd over here. So dot value. In the same way, I'll be extracting the email ID. So where email, so I'm giving a name to the email. You can give whatever variable name that you want to. Okay, so in the document.getElementById, I'm giving the email. So that's the ID I have given for the email as well. So I have given the email here. And what's the fourth field? The fourth field is the phone number, right? Okay, so I'm saying it is phone. Okay, and then what is the ID that I have given for phone, which is phone. So I am taking that ID here and I'm putting that ID here, which is phone. Okay, so document dot get element by ID phone. Okay, so after collecting all these values, now I need to do the matchings. Okay, so now this is very crucial here. So I need to do the matchings. To do the matching, I'll be using the regular expression. To do the matching, I'll be using the regular expression. You can also do it in simple procedures of if by using logical ands and logical ors as well. But I'm using the regular expression. Now what I'm doing is, for example, so what is the question? So in the question, like we have read, that the name can contain only alphabets and it should not be less than 6 characters long. Okay, so so this is what that we have done. So let me actually write a regular expression. To write a regular expression, we will be giving slashes like this, and then I'll be giving the cap here. So on top of number 6, like you will be having a cap, and then I'll be having a dollar at the end. So this will mark, okay, so this is actually the beginning, okay, so which will say that the string should be in between this, and this is like the end delimiter, and this is like the beginning delimiter. And so I need to give this, and after that I'll be giving my regular expression. So what is my regular expression? So the username can contain only alphabet. Okay, so it can contain letters from the alphabet only. So what are the letters? It can include from capital A to capital Z and small a to small z. Okay, so it can include letters from capital A to capital Z and small a to small z. To represent that, I'll be taking a square bracket and I'll be saying capital A to capital Z. Don't give any commas or anything, just give the next range. Okay, so what's the next range, which is small a to small z. That's it, right? We don't want numbers or anything to be included. And what is the next constraint that we have? That it should not be less than 6 characters, meaning that it can be equal to, greater than or equal to 6. Okay, so to do that, I am going to give the range in the curly brackets after this particular thing. Okay, so what I'm giving, so it should not be, it can be equal to 6, okay, and greater, above. So above, there is no constraint mentioned or nothing like that. Only thing that it was mentioned in the question is like it need to be greater than or equal to 6. So I'm just leaving off this the end thing over here. Okay, so I said from 6, it should be from 6. The upper range I'm not mentioning because it's not mentioned in the question. So that's it. So I have a dollar and then a slash. Okay, so this is the regular expression that I have formed for the user name. I hope everybody understood this. And let me actually now write the regular expression. Okay, so coming back over here, I'm taking one more variable. So I'm saying the variable is reg, and reg is equal to, I'm writing the regular expression. So what is the regular expression that I have given from a to capital Z and from lowercase a to lowercase z? That's it. I don't want anything else. And then I want it to be not less than 6 characters. So I'm leaving off the upper limit. And then I'm putting the end delimiter, which is dollar. Dollar will see to it that this range thing will be applied to it. And then I'm putting a slash. Okay, so put a forward slash and then a semicolon. So this is the regular expression for the username. Okay, so this is the regular expression for the username. In the same way, okay, so I'll be giving the regular expression for the password and all that. So let me give the regular expression for the password and give a variable name, which is reg1. So I say reg1 is equal to, so what is the constraint for the password? That it can contain anything, right? So that's why I'm saying A to Z and capital A to Z, and then from numbers from 0 to 9, or you can include dot, slash, anything you can include. Okay, all that you can include. And so I'm keeping it this way. I'm just telling that it needs to have the letters and all that. And other constraint is that it should again not be less than 6 characters. So I am putting that, put a dollar and a slash and a semicolon. So this is a regular expression for the password. Now coming to the email, so this is a bit complicated. So I'm saying email is equal to, so what I'm doing for the email is that, so you know why I have put a slash and this, and then I'm saying small a to small z, capital A to capital Z, and then 0 to 9, and then you can have a dot, you can have an underscore, okay, and all that you're keeping. Okay, so let me give all that here. So I have an exclamation, and then I can have a hash, any special characters, all these are possible, and dollar, percentage, and then and you can have, and then single quote. Okay, so you can have the single quote, star you can have, and then a plus, and then a slash. Okay, so then is equal to, then question mark. Okay, so you can have a question mark, and then the cap you can have, and then you can have the underscore. Okay, so all that we are keeping the open bracket, then you can keep this. Okay, so the closing bracket, then you can have the tilde, and then minus, and then the closing brackets, then okay. So after this, okay, so this is from here till here we are saying that it needs to have before the @ okay. So here we are having three parts for the email. We are having three parts for the email. So first is the username, so whatever we have, and then we have @ and then gmail.com, for example. Okay. So here this is the username, so which we have given here, and coming to the @ and then after that we will be giving this, and then we'll be giving the dot over here. So let us see how to do that. So this is regarding the username, and after this I'm saying plus. Okay, so what does plus represent is that it can have these repetitions. Okay, so from A to Z it can have all the repetitions, and then I am putting an @ over here. @ need to be there, right? So after the @ again I can have the domain name. So the domain name can be again from A to Z. Okay, give a slash and a semicolon. Okay, so I just have given some regular expression like this for the email. Okay, right. And the next one is the regular expression 3. Okay, so this I'll make it as regular expression 2. Okay, for the email, and regular expression 3 is for the phone number. So for the phone number, again, I am starting with this, put a dollar and a slash. And in between this, I am saying that if it is a mobile number from India, so it will start from 7, 8, 9 and all that. So I'm putting that. How many characters you can have from 7, 8, 9? So I just can have only one letter. And then I need from 0 to 9, it can have any other numbers. And how many numbers I can have? I can have the combination of 9 numbers. So this is the regular expression that I have given for the phone number. So so you can also go to, okay, so let me actually show you. So take Google, and in here you can say regular expression this 101, right? So regular x101. So you can take this, so build, test and debug regular expression. It's a website. So regular x101. So you can come here, give the strings that you require. So say for example, you just want the phone numbers, okay, and we are saying that it needs to be only 10 digits, right? Okay, so try to give 9, 10. Okay, so and try to construct your regular expression, you can say, and then you can say from numbers 7, 8, 9, and see, you can see that it is matching. Okay, so it is saying match 1. Okay, so group 0, 1, so 7 is matching. So whatever is for example, I have a number which is starting with 5. Okay, so it will not match for me. Okay, so there is no match, only one match. So you can construct, you can give some strings over here, and from this you can construct your regular expression. And then I require only one, right? And then what do I want? I want again the numbers from 0 to 9. So how many I require? I require 9. Okay, so it's actually matching. This one is correctly matching with that. And then I'm giving a dollar. Okay, so whatever is matching, I'll be getting that. Okay, so say for example I have, so it's showing that 2 matches. And if I'm starting the number with 4, it will not match for me. And if I'm starting with 9, again it will match for me. Okay, so if I'm giving one more, it will not match for me. Okay, so you can actually test your regular expression like this, and you can give it. Okay, right. So let me actually get back to the document. Let me save this, and now we'll do the testing. Okay, so how you have to compare is like whatever the user has given. Okay, here the username dot value. Now we'll check it, we'll match it across the regular expression, like how I have shown it in regular x101. You just need to match it. So to do that, we are having the if condition. So inside the if condition, I'm saying user. So what is this user? This user that I'm giving is this one. Okay, so the variable name. So user dot, so you have a method which is called as match. Okay, so this match method will match it across the regular expression. So what is the regular expression that we have written for the username? So the regular expression that we have written for the username is reg. So I'm giving inside this match, I'm giving reg. Now what will happen is it will check whatever the user has given, it will check inside this particular reg. This entire match, okay, will return to me true or false. If this is true, we need to do something inside this if. Else what we need to do, so we need to do something inside this particular else part. Okay, so let me actually do that. So inside the else, I'm saying I want it to return false. Why it has come to else? Meaning that the username did not match with the regular expression that we have given. For example, say that user has given Sudha123. Okay, so say for example, the username is Sudha123. So 123 is a number, so which is not there in the regular expression. So this is an invalid username. Okay, so this is an invalid username. And what should happen? So it should return false. Okay, why it should return false? We are stopping the event from proceeding further. So it will come in the else part and it will return false. And apart from that, we need to inform the user also that whatever the user has given is an invalid username. To do that, I'm again going back to my form. So let me go back to my form over here. Okay, so inside the form, okay, so inside this div group, okay, so this is the div group wherein I have created a label and the input, right? So inside this input, I'll be creating one more tag, which is called as the span tag. So what did I create? I have created a span tag. Now the difference between span and div is that div is a block level container. So it is a block level and span is an inline space. Okay. So I am taking span and then I'm giving an ID to this particular span, which is like I'm saying it is user error. Okay. So I gave a span an ID which is user error. And I'm saying it is class is equal to, so I want it to, it's an error, right? So I want it to have a color which is called as warning. Okay, so I'm saying text warning. So if you want any other things like you can add, I don't want anything, so I'm closing this span. Okay, right. So let me do this span thing for all the other fields as well. Okay, so let me do it for the password also. So here, but here I'm giving the ID to be PWD error. Okay, so PWD error. So I'm copying the same in the email also. So here I'm saying email error. Okay, so I'm saying it is email error. And come back to the next one, which is phone error. So in here, I'm saying that it is phone error. So this is what I have done. Okay. Now I'll be using this particular ID to show the error. So what I'll do is, in case if it is false, so what I'll do is, apart from return false, I also will tell the user. So here in the else, so I'm saying document dot, okay, so get element, okay, so document dot get element by ID. Okay, so get element by ID. And what is that? What is that ID? Okay, so what is that ID that we have given, which is user error, right? So which is user error. So I am saying which is user error. Okay, so I'm saying user error dot, okay, so inner HTML. So this will actually write something onto this particular span space. Okay, so what you want to write in the span space is that, so I'm saying invalid user name. Okay, so I'm saying invalid username and put a semicolon. So this I have done. So I'll copy the same text, okay, and I'll put it even in the if one also, but we don't want to print it that it is invalid username. We just will be passing null. Okay, so we'll just keep it this way. Okay, right. So this is what I need to do for the if password and as well as for the other fields. So let me actually copy this code. Okay, so what did I do here? So what is this? This is not username, it is pwd, and regular, it is regular one. Okay, so reg one. And what is it? It is pwd error. So here also I need to change it to pwd error. And see, so here I need to say that it is password invalid password. Okay, and then let me again copy the same thing one more time for the email. So I'm copying it one more time for the email. Okay, so this is for the password, right? So for password I completed, so I just need to take the next one, which is email. So here I'm saying email, and then this is reg2, and then it is email error, and here also I need to say email error. Okay, right, and I need to say invalid email. Okay, right. So again I'm copying the same text. Okay, so same thing, and then let me copy it one more time. And now it is what is the name of that, which is phone, right? So I'm making this as phone. Okay, and this is reg 3. And then what did I give here? I have given phone error, and this again is phone error, and here invalid phone number, or I'm saying invalid mobile number. Okay, right. So I have done all the validations and all that. So finally, once you have done this, okay, close your method. Okay, so this is the function validate, and then close your script, and then close your body and HTML. Okay, so this is what we have written. Let me save this and let me run and show you the output. Okay, fine. So this is our Bootstrap example. Okay, so form validation and all that. So let me actually start giving the username. So I have given username, which is Sudha. So which is saying invalid username. Okay, so it is saying that invalid username. Let me check why the uh, class is not applied. Okay, class is equal to test. Okay, fine. So I need to give text. So I just have given test. Okay, so it is text hyphen, let me give danger. Okay, so let me make it danger. And this is also text. Okay, so text, and then this is danger. And okay, so I think I made the modifications. Okay, so let me actually, okay, text danger, and text danger. Okay, so let me save this. Now we'll get back to the output. Okay, so let me refresh this and let me give Sudha. So it is only 5 characters. So when I try to submit, I need to get a validation that it is invalid username. Okay, so if I give some letters, okay, along numbers along with the letters, let us see what will happen. Okay, so still it is saying invalid username, because we said like the username should contain only letters from the alphabet. So when I gave, okay, so Sudha Rani, so which is all containing lowercase and uppercase letters, it is totally valid, and there are no numerals. Now when I click on submit, you can see that the invalid username have gone off. Okay, so now let us check the password field. So what is there in the password? It is like you cannot give it cannot be less than 6 characters. So say for example I'm giving more than 6 characters, so when I submit, like the password is valid. Okay, so even if I give something letters and numbers together, again it is valid. But if I give less than 3 characters, 6 characters, then you will be getting that it is invalid password. So it is checking across the regular expressions that we have given. Okay, say for example, I have given 6 digits, and now when I submit, like the password field is now validated. Now coming to the email, so say for example, I'm simply giving Sudha instead of giving at the rate and dot and all that. So it is saying invalid email. Okay, so I can have numbers, I can have underscore. Okay, so I can have anything or dot and all that. But it still need to have an at the rate symbol. So say I have given at the rate, still it will not take it because there is no dot over here. So and then try to give some gmail.com and all that. So when you click on submit, it will be taking it. Okay, so it will be looking for these characters, and then it is saying invalid mobile number. So let me enter the mobile number starting from this, and let me click on submit. It is still saying invalid mobile number. So even if I enter 10 digits, okay, it will not accept because the first starting letter need to be either 7. So now as I enter 7, so it will be saying I'm not getting any errors or any messages that it is invalid and all that, and the form is submitted. Okay, right. So this is how we need to do the validations. I hope I showed the validations for all the fields. Okay, well friends, what I did over here is I have written the JavaScript inside the HTML document. You can also write them in 2 different files. So what I need to do is creation of labels, text fields and all that I kept in the HTML document, and the scripting and all, my validate function and all that I have kept inside this particular JavaScript. Okay, so now what I'm doing is I said script src is equal to valid.js. Okay, so I want it to take it from valid.js. So src I have put source. Okay, source is valid.js. I have created one document. Let me actually show you that. So this is my okay, well fine. So this is my JavaScript. So let me just open this JavaScript and show it to you. So the name of it is valid and it is a JavaScript file. So you'll be getting like this, which is a JavaScript extension. Okay. So then what I did, all the function validate, whatever I have written within this particular function, everything I have put in this particular valid.js, and I saved it and I closed it. So as you can see, the form valid, this is the HTML document and this is my JavaScript document. So this is .html and this is .js. Okay, so I have kept them both on the same location. So that's the reason I don't require to actually give the entire path. I simply have given the direct name of the file. So you can see that. Okay, so what I have done, so inside the script tag, I said source is equal to valid.js. Now I'm saving both the files. Okay, so let me close this, and valid also I'm saving it. So this is also saved. Okay, so this is form valid. Okay, and valid is also saved. Now let me launch this form valid. Okay, so so let me try to enter and see whether it is connecting to the JavaScript file or not. As I submit, you can see like it is saying invalid username. Okay, so in the first case, we have written JavaScript inside the HTML document. In the second case, we separated the JavaScript and HTML, and we are linking the JavaScript into the HTML document by using the script tag src attribute. So I hope this video is helpful to you. Thank you for watching.